Hi everyone, Scotty here from Dragon Shadow Industries, and this time I'm going to be running you through a game that I made. It's the game formerly known as Escape Velocity, or also known as Decaying Orbit. And I'll get into why I changed the name a little bit later. But I'll be running you through the game, give you some differences between the Nuon version and the Rose version, maybe some things I'd like to change, various tidbits about the game. So here we go.
Good old title screen. So, obviously one of the major things that was changed in the Nuon version, this is my cat Goldberry, by the way, say hi, was that the resolution was dropped from 640 by 480 down to 320 by 240. And also the frame rate dropped from 60 frames per second down to 30. And obviously both of these contribute to a more choppy game, which is not what I'd like. If I had infinite time, I'd rewrite the whole thing just for Nuon, but I don't have infinite time, obviously. So let's get this game started. First level. First thing new to the Nuon version were these help screens. I added them because there were a lot of complaints about how difficult the game was. I made a couple of other changes that improved the difficulty, made it a little bit easier. I didn't want to make it too easy because part of the focus of the game is improving your spaceship by upgrading the systems on it. So if I made your ship really powerful from the beginning, what's the point of the game? So I tweaked the engine a little bit, made it turn faster because people complained about the sluggish movement. But other than that, I also added these help screens that hopefully help new people get into the game. So I'll just quit out of them. So this first screen is just a way for you to get a feeling for the gravitational pull and maneuvering the craft, dealing with inertia and all that. You can fire if you want to, although there's nothing to hit right now. Yes, I know that the planets rotate a lot faster than they would in real life, but if they rotated at real life speeds, they would not appear to move at all, and it would be very boring. So let's go ahead and finish this level. Get my bonuses. So I didn't finish in time. There weren't any beacons, there weren't any enemies, but I got the navigation bonus because I didn't collide with any planets on the way. So now I have some credits. Level 2. So level 2 introduces red nebulas and the beacons. And the beacons were a way for me I was trying to think of bonuses that I could award the player at the end of each level. And I had time, I had enemies destroyed, I had the navigation bonus. That's 3. I wanted at least one more, so I added these beacons, and I think it turned out really well. Because for one thing, they give you a time bonus when you activate them, and also it gives you an impetus for exploring the level and finding them all. So the red nebulas slow you down, and you can really get trapped if you try to struggle out of them, if you're going too slow when you try to go through them. So one way to get out of them, if you feel that you're trapped, is head straight for a planetary body, or use its gravity to help you get out of it. And there's some noticeable slowdown, which is really annoying. I'd love to just redo this game. I hate that text. It looks kind of crappy, especially when I drop the resolution. But what can you do? This level also introduced a scrolling screen to the player. I wanted to put the target planet within sight, but still just out of reach, that the player would have to see that the playfield scrolls when they move past. And just so they get used to the idea that playfields can be bigger than what they see on the screen. So now we introduce enemies. And along with enemies, there's money to pick up. The money floats off. The money, there's a bug in the Eurose version that I fixed in the Nuon version. The money is supposed to bounce off the edges of the screen. And the Eurose version, I think the top of the screen, it doesn't work quite right. So it kind of gets lost. One of my things that I would love to fix about this is getting the HUD.
System failure.
Oops, I went off the side of the screen. Getting the HUD out of the screen, because frankly it takes up too much screen real estate, and especially on some of the screens where game objects are behind the HUD. That's not really fair to the player. You see I just collided with the enemy there. You can do that too. And that doesn't count against your navigation bonus, so feel free to collide with them. All it does is take off some shield. So now that I destroyed them all, the target opened up. I can land. Go through these red nebulas again. So I have 30 credits. Here's the first shop screen. And I want to apologize for the crappiness of this shop screen. And another help screen here. Yeah, it kind of looks like terrible. I don't know what I was thinking. I was going more for the engineer side of me rather than the creative side of me. Anyway, so along the left are your 5 systems: your energy, your engine, laser, shield, and cooling. Cooling doesn't really come into play during the game. And then these 4 here are items that are for sale. So we got another laser system, we got a shield, and we got some rockets. And these are some 6 extras that you can store on your ship and use them, kind of like rockets would count for 1. Along the bottom right here is a preview of the next level with the planets highlighted. And the top right shows you information about whatever you're highlighting. So if I go up to the laser system, it gives me a comparison between the current laser system that I have and the next one, the one that I have highlighted. And the bars are not very intuitive. The blue bars are good, red bars are bad. You want red bars to go left, you want blue bars to go right, but you don't really have much choice about it. So you want to get the laser if you can afford it. So let's see if I have enough. I don't have enough to buy it. Let's see if I can trade. I don't have enough to trade. Okay, so I'm going through without. Now, I really love this level transition, although I hate how it's so slow in the Nuon version. On Eurose, it's much faster. Okay, so one thing you're going to want to start doing here is adjusting the priority of your systems. That will help you get through the game. So you have the energy system that distributes energy to the other 4 systems, and you can adjust proportion of the energy that goes to each system. Normally they're all the same priority so that it gets distributed equally, but I found that changing the priority for the laser and the engine system to high and the cooling system to low gives you the best balance, at least in these initial levels. Let's go take these guys out. There's a second level turret. Not quite as easy, but not too bad. You can also see that an item flew off that is not money. And that's an extra that you can pick up. Let's see if I can find it. There you go. Oh, it's here. Oh, I got him. So there's a target planet. actually 2 targets. And if you destroy all the enemies, you'll open up the second one. And the second one's over here. And that'll take you to a harder path through the game. There's 2 branches in the game, or two levels that have 2 exits, so you can go to a medium or a difficult. I'm just going to stay on the easy path for now. There's also green nebulas that speed you up, and those can be really bad if you're not paying attention because they can whip you really fast. Okay, so another thing that changed in the Nuon version is that it remembers your system priority from level to level. The Nuon version, or sorry, did I say that right? In the Nuon version, it remembers it. In the Eurose version, it resets it to everything default. You have to adjust it every level. So it's kind of nice not having to do that. So let's go around this planet. Here's an example of where the HUD gets in the way. There's a beacon right here. Okay, there's turret number 3. This guy is a lot more difficult. My shield is down. Need to recharge. Okay, so to recharge, you want to set all your priorities to 0 and set the shield to high. You can see my bar on the green bar on the left is slowly going up. Once it hits that white line, there it goes, it turns back on. So now we can turn everything back to normal. So one of the reasons I have a time limit on each level is so you can't just sit here and recharge your shield every time you get hit. Otherwise I would make the game a little too early. So one of the strategies is to get really close to them, because they can't rotate as fast as you can move around them, so just kind of sort of space. There we go, finally. Alright. Luckily you get healed every level, so the smoke will go away. Shop number 2. Okay. So in here, we have an engine system. I wouldn't bother unless you have the extra money. A shield system, which would come in really handy. So let's trade for that. And these are homing missiles, which I'll buy some just to show you how they work. And you'll notice one of the items I picked up was called the Map Enhancer Planet Strength. So that's the one I picked up floating around in the level. And now instead of just gray circles on the level select, it actually shows you yellow, orange, and red to show you relative planet strength, which you don't have much choice about which level you go to next, so it doesn't do you that much good. It's just kind of preparation. So let's go ahead and start. Also introduces this level 4 turret, which he's pretty nasty. So you can see the target reticule around the turret appear when I shoot him. And that's because I have the homing missiles in one of the slots. So if I were to fire the homing missile, which is that one, fire it once, and it locks, fire it again, and it launches. Which is really cool. And the homing missiles will take slight navigation detours to try to hit their target if you're not aiming exactly at it. But don't go too nuts because they're not that. This level introduces mines, which are those little red dots. They look a lot crappier and lower resolution. But if you fly too close to them, they'll explode. I'll show you. But you can shoot them before you get too close so that they don't hurt you. So you see that little yellow triangle that appears on the side of the screen. tell you where you are, what direction you're facing, and how close you are to actually flying off the edge of the screen. Someone had an idea to, at least in the initial levels, have the edge of the screen push you back in, which I thought was rather good. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't do it. It would have been an easier way a good way to ease you into the game. All right, let's get the heck out of here. Okay. Let's see if I can destroy this guy. I really like the boss. It looks a lot better in the Eurose version, unfortunately. Well, maybe not a lot better, but the effect, the screen flash is a lot better. I had to kind of hack it into the new one version. You'll notice that it's locking onto all these guys. You might as well use up your homing missiles before you get here, or on these guys, because for the next two stages of the boss, it won't work. Love that screen flash. So you'll notice it's best to rotate around clockwise the same way that they're going. The second level will suck you in periodically, so it's good to keep your distance. Stay on the edge where you can keep firing at the missiles where you're not as effective in this section. This last level doesn't do anything but spit out a shit ton of these little... I really love this. I really like this boss. It worked out really well. I actually don't know where I got the idea from. There's a bug in that the game will hang if the boss is smoking and you die. Because the boss will continue smoking, but one of the requirements for the level to reset is that all smoke disappears. And since the smoke never disappears, the level will never reset. So don't die when the boss is smoking. I didn't upgrade the lasers, so that's why this is so hard. If you have rockets, now's the time to use them. Rockets are great on the boss. They can fly straight, they do a lot of damage. Uh-oh. Ah! Case in point, it hangs. Okay, well, I'll pick it up later. I'll run through the medium and difficult sections of the game a little bit later. That's about it for now. This time I'm going to be running you through the medium and difficult levels of Decaying Orbit. In the shop I already bought the laser and the shield, so I'll be better equipped for the boss at the end, and hopefully it won't hang this time. So there's a purple nebula, red nebula, green nebula, got some moons. This level has quite a bit going for it. So I tried to ratchet up the difficulty. Oh! The moon got me. They're originally going to be 5 galaxies. I'm not going to spill all the beans, but they would each have a different theme. I have the whole game mapped out in my brain. I know how it's going to end. It's going to be really freaking cool. This level has an Easter egg that I don't think anyone has found. It's something that I added just for the Nuon version. And let me grab it and then I can tell you a little bit more about it.